Do you know what ROI is?
Yes.
Okay, what is ROI?
Return on investment.
Ooh, okay.
Welcome to the Freedom Point Real Estate Podcast, where we talk about creating more time freedom through passive real estate investing. Passive investing in real estate challenges conventional investment wisdom. We are passionate about learning and sharing resources with others who are ready to transform their investing mindset. Quick disclaimer as always, I am not a CPA, I am not an attorney or a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, not telling you or anyone else what to do. The views and opinions expressed in these podcasts are provided for education and informational purposes only and are not necessarily the views of my employer, ADP. I'm glad you're here. Now let's dig in.
Hello, Freedom Point podcast listeners. My name is Drew McWilliams, and I am going to be your host today. I am excited that this is a bonus episode specifically designed for parents. So on our show today, we not only have our youngest, but also our newest investor through Starting Point Capital. It is an honor to introduce you to Elena McWilliams. Elena, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you.
Elena, can you give us a little bit of background and who are you?
I'm Elena McWilliams. I am 13 and I am in 7th grade and I am his daughter.
Well, there you go, parents. Okay, we have a 13-year-old investor on our show today. And why I thought this was important is that Elena is officially our youngest investor. We'll break down exactly how that happened. She contributed a portion into the last investment that our family invested into via our family trust. So happy to have her alongside. And here's really the reason why we're doing this show and really why Elena became an investor, which she's going to break down a little bit more for you in a little bit. My goal as a parent is to be able to teach my children worldly advice. And I think all of us can say that as parents. Not only do I want them to turn out as good human beings in this world, but I also feel that it is my job as a parent to be able to pass on whatever knowledge that I have gained in life over to my children so they can, we'll say, carry that baton or carry that torch, into the future. And of course, all of us, I just want to pass on the good traits, right? Not the bad traits. And one of the things that I have learned, over the years is that I love being able to learn about financial freedom. That is nothing that my parents ever taught me growing up. So it's taken me 2 decades to be able to learn financial freedom and really what does that look like for me and what does that look like for my family. So if I can give my children a 40-year or a 30-year head start on how to understand what financial freedom looks like and put those plans in place, and really it's really habits more than anything, put those habits in place from day one, then that's just going to give them that much more of a head start and a leg up in life. So that's important to me to be able to teach them how to make informed decisions before society and social media or even colleges train them how to be a W-2 worker. Definitely was a W-2 worker for many years. Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to encourage both of my children to get that head start in life as well, because you got to be able to see both sides. But I want them to be able to learn more about how to be able to have financial freedom on their own terms and not do it for them. I'm a very big believer, and I never want to be able to just give my children the keys to the castle. I want them to learn, how do I build the castle? How do I make the castle? But why? What goes into it? So that being said, Elena, I think we need to show the audience that you are a pretty sophisticated investor, and maybe your parents, being entrepreneur minded, maybe have brainwashed you from day one. So I, I'm about to ask Elena some questions. There was no pre-guidance on where this is going to go. All right. So this is totally unfiltered you're going to get right now. So Elena, let's break down. Do you know what ROI is?
Yes.
Okay, what is ROI?
Return on investment.
Ooh, okay. All right, very good. Okay, that's very fancy term now, but do you know what that means?
Yes.
Okay, what does ROI mean?
When you invest in something, the money you get back from it.
Okay. I'm going to give you a gold star on that one. I'm going to keep going. Okay. So now talk to me about what is the difference between income and profit. Do you know that?
Yes.
That's tricky to a lot of people that I work with. I'm not lying.
Income is like the amount of like all the money you make from like the business or just like you make. And then the profit is the amount of money like you personally make after like all the bills are paid.
Okay. All right. Gold star number 2. Now we're going to go into the bonus round. This is mastery, like black belt status. Okay. Do you know what EBITDA means?
Earnings before interest, taxes, administration. Wait.
You forgot the D.
Oh, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and administration.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you a pretty close passing grade on EBITDA. That's a hard one. Amortization is the last term. So, all right. So I just want to let you know before we start interviewing Elena McWilliams here, she is a very sophisticated investor. All right. So Elena, we just watched. Excuse me. We just watched the Rise Town East webinar, and the only way that I would let Elena invest in this last deal alongside of her parents in our family trust is that I made her watch the 58-minute webinar, the entire thing from start to finish with me on Rise Town East, which is the investment opportunity that she's elected to be in. So, Elena, let's first start with you came to me and asked to invest in one of Daddy's next real estate opportunities. Why?
I asked you to and for me to invest because I want to make money without having to do like physical work to
Okay.
earn it.
So you have heard Daddy probably say the word passive income probably more than one time around our household.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to invest your money for it to be able to give you a return without you actually physically having to work.
Yes.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, good for you. So why did you decide that, now was the time? Do you um did you save up a certain amount of money and you realized it was now time to invest and to do something with that?
Yeah, I saved up like an amount of money more than I can invest so that still have some left over without just like spending all of my money.
Yeah, and I think we can share. Elena has saved up. She spent a long time, and she saved up $1,000, and she put that $1,000 investment alongside of the rest of the investment proceeds that our family decided to do in the Rise Townies. So, all right. So, Elena, talk to me a little bit more. What did you learn from that webinar that we watched on the Rise Town East investment opportunity?
I learned that it was a really good place for the investment. Had a lot of people for the population, and they were making a lot of
Like the improvements?
yeah the improvements to the building, so they like made it up, and it was just like a really good place for
So you like the market, you
yeah.
like the area. It's in Dallas, Texas area, which is a very hotbed, growing city. I think you pulled out a lot of good things. You like the population growth. You like that there's a strong job in the area, great employers in the area, which provide a very stable level of employment for those that are needing to rent places. I know we paused the investor presentation multiple times, and one of the times was the before and after of the improvements that they're doing, which I think is extremely helpful in learning that as they make improvements, that also increases the rental factor. You're able to increase the rents, at a sustainable pace, and then that increase then pays back investors and helps give them your ROI term. Correct? All right. Any other kind of things that you thought were important from watching that investor presentation, or things that maybe you didn't know before that you learned as we watched it together?
um not really.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I gave you the information that you needed. So, again, I'm excited to have my 13-year-old daughter be an investor alongside us. I think it's extremely important, and I am taking her money and I am depositing it into this investment deal alongside of us. So I think it's extremely important. Elena, your biggest fear, really, we talked about this before the show. Your biggest fear was, Dad, are you going to make sure that I get my monthly distribution?
Yeah, it was.
I think my 13-year-old daughter was worried her dad wasn't going to give her the payouts that she so desired. So she struck a pretty fierce deal with me. She's getting a little bit better cash on cash return than her parents are. So she's a pretty strict and tough negotiator, but I think she's earned it in life. And really, what I'm trying to do again is just trying to lay the foundation now for her to be able to have success in the future. So, with that being said, Elena, thank you for being on today's show and our special guest.
Thank you.
So, Starting Point and Freedom Point listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. Really, what I hope that all of you take from this show is start talking to your children about investment opportunities. I don't think there's ever an opportunity that should go by without educating, teaching our youth, and really the next generation for all of us. Thank you, and we look forward to talking with you again on our next show.
Thank you for hanging out with us today and for listening to the Freedom Point podcast, powered by Starting Point Capital. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing said on this show should be considered financial advice. Before making any financial decision, please consult with a professional. This show is copyrighted by the Freedom Point podcast. Written permissions must be granted before syndication or rebroadcasting. If you're interested in connecting, you can find contact information at startingpointcapital.com.